this first round is genuinely insane, man. Oh my goodness. Basketball was so crazy yesterday. We saw a ton of series get extended, all that. We're back. As you know, I've been sick for the past couple days, but I want to get right into it. Hoops was insane last night. We got to start this video off about the Clippers. And the reason I'm doing that is I have a podcast later today dropping, fully breaking down the series with my girl Grace. She does a really good job with Denver news. But despite of that, the LA Clippers, man, for you to lose a game like that in that fashion, where Russell Westbrook looks better than almost every Clipper that played based on how he was playing. He had a phenomenal stand-up game. But for Jamal Murray, a 40-point game. That's right. We got playoff Jamal back in one of his best games he had versus the Clippers. And Jokic didn't even play all that well for his standards, and they still won the game by a lot. Like that is such a bad red flag for the Clippers. And I was saying this, I had the Clippers in 6. I'm wrong. That's busted. For the Clippers to win, it would now have to be in 7 games. I'm cognizant of that. I'm aware of that. But for you to blow this opportunity, which makes sense, right? People are going to say, oh, well, the game's not real because Russell Westbrook did this and that. Well, guess what? They're at home. This is why, for me, in game 4, when you're down 1,000 points, basically, by the way, to this Denver team on the road, and you come back in the game, you come back from down 20, and you lose to an Aaron Gordon buzzer beater, where Kawhi and Harden just were not making shots down the last like 3 or 4 possessions. It's a bad loss. That's why I said that game was a must-win game. Because when it came down to it, you needed to win that game. Because if you lose that game, you're forfeiting home court advantage for the rest of the series. Now Denver can win a game like this in game 5, and guess what? They can lose the next game. That's fine. They have home court advantage for game 7, where role players are going to just normally play better in those atmospheres because those are the environments they're used to playing in more so than on the road. Role players normally play better at home. They just do. And I'm not saying that the Clippers are out in this series, but for a team that has had so many advantages in this series, for a team that is going up against another team that isn't even like fully healthy or consistent, you have not executed these advantages. James Harden was a no-show, basically, in this game. And he's been a big pillar of what gives them advantages in the series with the Harden-Zubac pick and roll. And Harden was not good last night. Kawhi Leonard's playmaker was pretty good last night, but they needed an even louder game from Kawhi to win the game. There's just a lot going on. And I generally don't know who wins the series. I'm officially wrong. I'm okay to say I'm wrong. It's basketball. You're wrong about things. But I initially had the Clippers in 6. But I did say, if you go back to my last video, I 100% said, if you have Denver, I have no problem with it. Because I understand the Clippers' tendencies, right? I understand that despite the advantage, quote unquote, they have, Denver is still a team that has to be beaten, right? Denver's defense might not be as good, but when you turn the ball over, you allow them to get in transition. And more importantly, if Jamal can be the X factor I thought he would be in this series and give them high-level performances, the Clippers are going to be on their heels. And that's exactly what happened last night. So credit to the Clippers. No, sorry. Credit to the Denver Nuggets. Apologies. Because that was an insane game. I could not believe what I watched. So that was great. I don't know exactly who I have in this next game 6. I wouldn't be surprised if the Clippers turn around and win this. But even if they do, game 7 is anyone's game. And I'm not sure if Denver is losing 2 game 7s in a row back-to-back years. I don't know. But we'll see. Oh, man. Okay, so the next series, Pacers-Bucks. Pacers-Bucks was so insanely ridiculous. I want to be clear, if you remember, and I feel bad because Dame did get hurt. I really hope he's able to recover, but this changes everything for the Bucks. Dame being gone, I'm not sure about his future with the team or the team's future in general with Giannis, but especially after this game. I mean, let's be honest, right? This is a closeout game. It's highly unlikely that the Bucks come back to win the series. It's a closeout game. They're on the road playing in Indiana, all of that. But the Bucks get out to an early start, They made the adjustment to put Brook Lopez on the bench to start this game and play overall limited minutes. Giannis is having a pretty good game overall. And then in the fourth quarter, we see the Pacers start to get back and chip away at the lead. And then Gary Trent starts making flamethrower threes, some in the fourth, most of them in OT. But the ending possession in the regular period, Giannis takes a fadeaway mid on the baseline. And I understand people have said all year long, Giannis middies. He's shooting. Like, I get all that. When Giannis Antetokounmpo is settling for a mid-range shot, even if he can make that shot, because he is so otherworldly great at getting to the basket, that is a shot the defense is living with. That is a shot that I am living with. So to see their last possession in regulation be that, to me, is just a blunder. But then we get into overtime. And I do want to also point this out. Indiana was in a very lucky situation because ego ball, in my opinion, should have lost in this game. Tyrese Halliburton showed up, and I'm going to give him credit shortly, but in regulation, the amount of shots he was just straight up missing and not making straight was bleeding so much value. So much value. There was a play where Tyrese Halliburton got to the cup, wide open layup, missed it, and after that, I'm pretty sure Gary Trent hit a three. Right? Like, it was looking bad. But then, you got to give him credit because he's going at Giannis on the island. It fully devolved into hero basketball. It just did. And we're seeing them just make miracle, crazy threes from so many of their players, which is why I picked the Pacers. Just how much versatility they have with the pieces they have offensively, where anyone can be. Oh, sorry about that. It's my alarm. Where so many people can just be threats in many different ways. That's why I picked them. And then down the stretch, I'm seeing Tyrese Halliburton go at Giannis in that space, and he's just scoring. Right? He had one play before that, which was a tremendous and one. And the main answer for the Bucks isn't Giannis. It's Gary Trent making miracle threes, contested threes, step back threes, doing a lot of leg work. But then Gary Trent has bad turnovers. Bad turnovers. There's a play where Giannis is about to inbound. Doc Rivers calls timeout right before Giannis passes the ball in, and Giannis turns the ball over. But it's before, so it's fine. But that also set them up to not have any more timeouts. So then the ball gets, passed back to basically KPJ. He brings the ball up. He passes to AJ Green, who passes to a wide open Gary Trent. Gary Trent drops the pass, turnover out of bounds. Oh my goodness, I'm losing my mind in the playback at this point watching the game. And then Tyrese Halliburton gets the game-winning layup on Giannis in isolation, in space. No one else is there. Blows by Giannis, touches the paint, scores. This is after him having a abysmal fourth quarter where he's just missing a bunch of shots back to back. And there's really no crazy motion offense that we know the Pacers to have. And they still won the game. So I couldn't believe that ending. The Bucks are officially finished. There's a lot of questions they're going to have to answer as a franchise. What are they doing? What's going to happen? There's so many things that are at play here with this. But for me, wild game. And Pacers Cavs, to me, is going to set itself up to be one of the better playoff series of the year, I'm pretty sure. But insane game. And that takes us to the Detroit Pistons. Detroit. Where my Detroiters at, man? Stand up. I am probably going to Game 6. I have tickets. What a game from Detroit, man. And this is a game where they really got it out the mud. They are a young team. A lot of people did not have faith in them to win Game 5 versus the Knicks, but now they're coming back home for Game 6. Shout out to Jalen Duren. Jalen Duren was doing so many things in this game. So much leg work where Cade was missing bunny layups or whatever, but Jalen Duren was there to clean it up and dunk the basketball right back. That was huge, right? Beasley hitting some shots. That was huge. Asor Thompson, man. The potential that he has, just like his twin brother, that was crazy. 22 points on the road. That was big. And then Cat was going through his foul trouble things again. But even then, even though Cat could have had a louder game, the shot making from Cat is just crazy, man. There's some moments in this fourth quarter where it's like, damn, he really hit that. Like, that's how good Cat was. So for me, To see them force a game 6 with Cade, not really having a great scoring game, but making the passes, making the reads, this shows just how much of a dog type of team this is. But there's one criticism I have to put on the coach. JB Bickerstaff, you are really killing me, man. The fact that you have 2 back-to-back games, this last game would have been the elimination game, and you are wasting challenges at the beginning of the 4th quarter. My God. To me, the challenge in the playoffs needs to be sparingly used for a possession that could alter the series. And I can understand some people saying, well, no, if you see a call that you think is wrong, you should use it earlier. I only can agree with that if it is blatant, if it is obvious, if there is 0% chance the refs can contest and take that call away from you. You don't call it on something any little than that percentage. You just don't. And the play that he called it on was obviously, it was obvious he wasn't going to win that. But they won. Detroit won. So I'm excited. We will be watching all of these games live. I might actually be in the arena for the Pistons game because, again, I have tickets. But that was crazy. That was nuts. And then the final game, we have the Boston Celtics versus the Orlando Magic. We kind of knew Boston was going to wind up winning this series. I just didn't think Orlando had the requisite offense needed to really take down Boston as a whole, and they kind of showed that. But you got to give Tatum a ton of credit because this game was close, and then Tatum has a 13-point third quarter. He's taking over the game with his defense, his passing, all of this stuff. There's been a lot made of Tatum these past couple of days, and I do think Tatum gets too much slander. I do think there are moments where, to make up for that, people then put him in other conversations where I just don't think he's at as a player. But independent of that, let's not get lost in the fact that Tatum is good. He is, and he had a crazy third quarter. Since the wrist injury in general, he's been playing some great basketball. If you don't want to acknowledge that, to me, you are just hating. And he played at a high level, so I'm super excited to give Tatum that bump. That was a great game for them, and we have some great games tonight as well, man. We have the Warriors versus the Rockets. Obviously, I'm a Warriors fan. We got to see how that goes, but I really think we can close them out here. I did have the Warriors in 6 before the series started, but I just think that Steph in the closeout on the road versus Houston, after not having a great game in this last game that they just won, I really think he's going to be focused to really deliver at the end. And I know that's some like narrative, hero man, this, that, but I generally just do think that. If I'm wrong, hey, we'll see what happens. This could be a blowout the other way for Houston, and if so, I'll give them credit, but it just feels like they have them kind of figured out. We've seen many different types of adjustments, and we've seen the shot making from the Houston Rockets and how they've lacked that throughout the majority of the series. We could get some crazy home cooking for them in this game, but I just think this Golden State team is equipped. I think they're ready. Jimmy Butler playing through injury in the last game was really, really good. So I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But overall, great games. The playoffs have been outstanding. Make sure to tap in with me at Playback, where we watch all the games live, and you can watch with me. I have a VIP pass for you to watch games with me, so make sure to tap in playback.tv/gifted hoops. It's going to be a very, very fun time. And that's the video for today. We'll be back. The podcast is dropping today, where we're actually breaking down our thoughts before the Clippers madness last night. We're going to be talking about that with Grace. She's a phenomenal basketball mind. Make sure to tap in. All of her links will be in this description box below, and also on the second channel. Make sure to tap into the Gifted Hoops podcast. It'll be posted today. But peace out, people. Have a good one.